Happiness. Is it an illusion or it really exists? Today, with my best friend Abdurrahman, we will explore happiness. We'll not tell you what is happiness. We will just share our stories and our experiences in trying to discover what is happiness. So I hope you will enjoy. Abdurrahman, how are you, my friend?
That's really a good question, especially we are talking right now about happiness. And I still feel that I couldn't reach the happiness. I couldn't reach the peace. I couldn't reach the fulfillments. But I will start by telling why I still couldn't reach this happiness or peaceful mindset. Let's go back to my early childhood, where I was a kid who was always stuck in his mind, thinking, feeling, without being able to express what I feel or what I think. I can say that I was not happy at that time. I didn't know what is the meaning of happiness. I thought maybe it's a situation that makes me feel this way. I am not feeling good, maybe because of the situation. Maybe because I don't have access to things. Maybe because I am desperate, that I wanted things but I couldn't get. In one of my writings, long time ago, I shared that I wanted to get a lot of things when I was child, but I wasn't able to get these things. Simple things, like a bicycle.
Tell me a bit about your life in Yemen when you were a kid. Because now you tell me you didn't get anything.
I mean, because of the economical situation and the war and the incomes, the low incomes and this stuff. That's why my family was not able to provide me with all of these things.
Considered like luxury as well.
Luxury, of
To have
course.
a bike. And
Yeah,
drive.
I mean, this was not only my case. It was most of the Yemenis
Mm.
was having this inaccessibility. So yeah, I couldn't reach these things. I couldn't get it. That's created like a sense inside of me. That why not? Why I cannot get these things? You know, as a child, you don't really think what is the situation of your family or what is going on. You just need these things, and if you don't get it, you raise the feelings of unsatisfaction. Time pass, and I grow up. And I felt, okay, maybe I don't feel good because the place I am in, the situation I'm living, the environment. I decided to go, to travel. Maybe if I travel, I will find the things that I'm missing. I worked hard, I applied for scholarships, I got scholarship, I traveled to Hungary It was one of the most amazing feelings that I ever felt. But the moment I arrived there, all of the emotions that I was feeling back in Yemen comes again. And I said, why? I should not feel the same way as I was feeling when I was in Yemen, because now I'm in Europe and I have all of the things that I wanted to get, but I am still like not satisfied, not happy. I thought, okay, maybe Abdurrahman, you are still like you still need to achieve things. Maybe you need to graduate. You need to get your first job. You need to get your first salary. You want to get married, so that you can reach the level of satisfaction that you are looking for. I got all of these, one after one. And every time I felt that I am almost close to being happy, being satisfied. But the next morning, I realized, wow, Abdurrahman, are you satisfied?
It just disappears.
It just disappeared, yes. It becomes normal, and you still like, I was still like struggling with my emotions and feelings. So I thought, okay, maybe you are still like having these feelings because you are still not stable. Maybe stability is the solution. Because we as Yemenis, we never felt stable or secure, or because of the situation and the war, and so I thought maybe stability is the solution.
Our biggest fear, returning back to Yemen.
Exactly. So how I can make myself stable? Staying in Hungary, at certain point you will maybe lose your job. You will not be able to find another job. And at that time, you will have to go back to Yemen, which is, as you said, the biggest fear that a Yemeni can face or deal with. What can we do? There is something called
Asylum seeker.
asylum seeking. I saw some of my friends went to Netherlands, and they are telling me about their experiences, and they were just, okay, this is an amazing experience. Maybe you need to wait a little bit, and then at the end you will get the permit, which will at least secure you for the next 5 years.
Finally secure.
And maybe after 5 years you can get the citizenship, which can give you a lot of accessibility and makes you able to travel wherever you want.
Freedom.
Freedom. This is the word that I was looking for. I came here. It was one of the most transformative experiences that I have been through. But I am still here, not secure, not stable, not happy, not satisfied. But recently, I was like, because we started the podcast and we have like very long conversations, and I was inspired by you, Rasheed, I mean.
Thank you.
By your thoughts, your conclusions, and it really touches my mind, and
They usually say it touches my heart. That is a good one. Touching my soul.
yeah,
touching my
mind. It's like a new
good one, a new version.
So yeah, I mean, what I wanted to say is that there was something that you were saying about happiness and And I was amazed by this idea, and I want to learn more. I want to know more. What is happiness to you? And is happiness a real thing, or is it, as you said in the beginning, or is it an illusion? Yeah, please help me.
Well, for me, yeah, we went to a similar experience. I was this kid in Yemen, dreaming of traveling the world, hmm? Having this story that the world is a magical place. Hmm? Misery is only exist here in Yemen. I suffered a lot in my childhood. I was bullied. I was the outcaster. And I always wanted to flee, to leave, to go, to travel. Yeah, until it happened. My dream. Found myself. I'm in Hungary. I've got a scholarship. I'm studying. I'm living my life. And I absolutely enjoyed it. I was the happiest ever. But every year, this happiness started to decrease, dissolves, feels more like normal. Until I reached to a point of my life, which was one of very transformative years. It was the year when I graduated. It was the time when I have to face my biggest fear, to return back to Yemen. That year, so many questions came. I was asking myself, Rasheed, you are literally living your dream reality. That used to be your dream and now you live it. You are in Europe. Why I normalize it? Why I don't feel that it's something precious? I have my worries, I have my problems, aside of that, I graduated. I achieved a huge achievement. For me, this is the story the society told me. That you're gonna be happy after you achieve, after you become successful. And successful for us is to graduate, to work. This is success. Yeah. And I remember that day, I remember it. We were together sitting, and you said it from the bottom of your heart. You looked at us and you were like, this is unfair. I suffered for 5 years in the university. Every exam, every workshop, every assignment, every deadline, every subject I failed. I suffered and I suffered to graduate. And now, what is the reward? Only few hours, only one day that I felt good that I graduated. The second day I feel normal. I have to get a job. I have to face my biggest fear. I don't want to return back to Yemen. I am insecure. Basically, real life begin when you graduate. Yeah, when you are a student in university, because before university you are in high school. Before high school you are in your father and mother taking care of you. So it's all about you are still secure until university. If you get scholarship, then you're still secure like us. After that, you face the real life, which there is zero security. The real life you have to deal with. And when you say that, it really touches me because it was the same that I was feeling. I graduated and I was like, so that's it? That's all? I've done it all. And there, one of the transformations that happened to me, that I realized that it's never about the destination. It's never about this dream that I have to reach, I have to get. Yeah. It's about the journey I have created. Now when I look at it, I graduated. 4 years I was in the university, but wow, they were beautiful 4 years. Yeah, it was amazing to be a student. I might never be a student again. Hmm?
It's about the experience, the memories, the.
Exactly.
Mm.
And there was a shift in my perspective because I realized that if it's about the journey, then it's about every year, it's about every month, it's about every day, it's about all the experiences I'm having. Yeah, everything matters in my life because it will never be repeated again. Hmm? It's never about the exam that I failed. Eventually I graduated, eventually I passed it. Hmm? It means eventually life will go on. And from then I shifted my philosophy on life to enjoy life. I realized that life is about enjoying. Hmm? It's about enjoying the experience, about having fun. It's not always about blaming myself and complaining and huh, putting pressure into myself to be perfect, to be good, to be excellent, to achieve, to.
Be successful.
Yeah, I realized that things will come. And then I passed through like one of the hardest years in my life, 2021. Like I graduated in the beginning of it, and then I found a job by the end. And all of that time I was doing nothing, and doing nothing is the hardest thing in life because we as humans we're born to always do something, to always achieve, to always feel that we are productive, we are useful. Huh? It's part of our nature. And but it taught me a lot. It taught me a lot because only through hardship we grow. Hmm? Because then while I was there, I really, really, really start to appreciate life. It's one of the concepts as I start that really transformed my life. Appreciation. Because when I looked at it, I was like, I'm normalizing my dream. I'm normalizing that I'm living in Europe. Hmm? I didn't just w- went along with it. Like, oh yeah, okay, I normalize, it's fine. I was like, no, I completely rejected the idea. I was like, every day I have to appreciate that this life I have, all the blessings I have, the little ones. And I started to appreciate the things I have. And it's like a muscle. It wasn't like, oh, it just happened. No, it took me years. Until now, I'm working on it. Yeah. But at that time, I was more focused on problems, on things. But then I started to shift slowly. Hmm? To put more my attention and my focus into the good parts, the good things. I look, everything is messed up in my life, but I'm like, yes, I don't have a job. Yes, I don't have money. Yes, I don't. But I have good friends. But I have a good company. But it is a nice weather. Hmm? And they remember those days, yeah?
So you are seeing it's not about like the destination, it's about the journey itself, the details that you are going through every day. That's an interesting part because what we are like um what we are learning or what the world are telling us that uh, it's about like being at that place, achieving that thing or getting that thing. So, but you are saying now it's not about the external things, it's about the internal experience.
Because like you, for example, you mentioned about satisfaction. Yeah, because you related. Yeah, you have a story that you related satisfaction with you having something, but every time you get it, you don't feel satisfied because it's never there. Satisfaction is you. You internally, you are satisfied. You agree from the inside. You decide. You create a new story for yourself that you know what I am satisfied with what I have. Doesn't matter what it is. I am satisfied with it. A new story, and you start believing in this new story that I am satisfied with what you have, and you start building this new story, and you let the other story, which is connected with other things, to dissolve slowly until it dissolves, until it doesn't matter anymore. That it's just literally about the experience. It's about the little things. It's about the simplicity. Uh, in life.
Okay, but how can I achieve this? How can I become someone who is only who is appreciating the small things, who is always the gratitude is part of his life, his daily life? Is it Does it require like practice, or is it something that I just need to embrace? Is it an idea or an action or activity that I need to do in order to?
Yeah, it's a good one. You see, like, life is not questions and answers. Yeah, life is about experience. Yeah, through experience you really can reach things. And all these things, if anything in life that you want to create, it's just like a muscle. It's like when you build a muscle. You train it every day, you don't see the muscle growing, but you keep training it every day. After a few months, after a year, you could see a muscle. And when it's there, it will never be disappeared. It will always be there. Hmm? And it is the same thing. That's how our minds function. It's based on loops. Hmm? All the neurons in the mind, they create a loop. This loop, it's whatever story you have. Whether it's physical, it's internal, it's external, it's gratitude. What's gratitude? Gratitude is the opposite of it, is complaining. Complaining, you didn't just born, you complain. You born, you know nothing. You are neutral when you are a kid. You grow up, everyone around you complaining. Then you, which is something you also mentioned one time. Just because everyone complains, then for you, this is the story that you see is the way of living. That you complain when something goes wrong. Complaining is the opposite of gratitude. Gratitude is something else. Something like, no, there are always problems. There is problems, there is good things, always in life. What the thing that you want to focus on. And the more you focus on gratitude, the more it becomes bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So you see all the beauty that's in life. To a level that when something went wrong, it doesn't mean that there is nothing wrong. No, no. Things will go wrong, something will be bad, you will fall, you hurt yourself. But because you appreciate life and you see all the good things that's there, this little thing, this pain, it's nothing to you. It's okay, I feel painful. It's part of the experience because you see the bigger picture, the more good. And it's just a muscle. You keep training it, training until it become your life.
Yeah, I have here a point or a question. If like complaining and not being grateful for the things that you have is really embedded into your mind and into your personality because of the experience that you have been through. I mean, since I know myself, I was like, I I didn't have close to being grateful. I was always like complaining, not out loud complaining. It was like internal complaining. Why like this? Why this? Why that? So for really long time. And yeah, it's not that easy to achieve.
True. It's not. It's not. For me, it took me years. Yeah. It's not one day, boom. No, no. It's built. Yeah. So it took me a while. I was working on it. Yeah, every time I complain, I'm like, hey, Rashid, stop. Why are you complaining? Why? Stop. I'm grateful. I appreciate all these good things. Yeah. Just one thing went off. Now you scream about it and dwell about it and cry about it. Just because one thing went out of control. One thing is not as you want it to be.
If it's not one
Yeah.
thing,
Huh?
if it's multiple things.
It's multiple things.
If
Then good luck. It's gonna be a lot of work. No, but like really, like even this, like it's it's like a build up. It's a build up process until you achieve it. Nothing comes. People think like, oh, it just comes. That's why something that I really want to emphasize here. What is your drive, Abdurrahman? Why you want it? Yeah. You just want to be happy, or you just want to kinda want to be grateful. Yeah, but deep down, you have a lot of doubts. Deep down, you are hesitant that it's even possible.
Maybe
No, then it's never, it's impossible and it's never reachable.
maybe because of my previous experiences, hmm, I cultivated this idea that I will never reach peace. I will never reach happiness because it doesn't exist. But you are telling me now, if you believe, if you imagine that happiness or peace exist, you can reach this.
It's not about it exists or it doesn't. It's about you as a human. You can achieve anything in life. Hmm? Anything you want, you achieve it. And it's all about the power of our imagination. Hmm? That's the superpower we have. We humans managed to reach to the moon, to the space. You know that was like a dream reality just 50 years ago, 60 years ago. It was crazy. You know, when humanity started to like, oh, we want to go to a moon. Like, what are you talking about? Are you serious? We are there. Hmm? Now we are building colonies in Mars, and that's the point. It's about imagination. Do you really believe that it's possible? If you deep down you believe it's not, well, like it's not. That's life. You see, like this is something which I told you before, but I'm gonna repeat it again. You see, Abdurrahman, like if I disappeared, you still exist. If this room disappeared, you still exist. If everything disappeared, you still exist. But if you disappeared, everything disappeared. You are the main character of the game. You are the player. And if you think you are not the player, you are not the player. Because you decided that you are not the player. Yeah? Because deep, it's also since childhood. Everything is since childhood. Like most things of who we are, how we live, is since childhood. Yeah? And we never look at that time. We never look at our childhood and, yeah? Because now I mentioned childhood, then because it's also very important. To understand the self, to understand who am I, yeah, why I'm acting this way, why I'm worried, what kind of stories do I have. All the stories you have, all the things you have, all the behaviors you have, by the way, it came from somewhere. Yeah, whether other experiences or other lifestyles or people around you, we always learning from people around us, mimicking everything, mimicking society, and then trying to live through this version we saw around us, how things works, how people talk, and then we embodied it and start to express it and live it.
Let's answer the question, what is happiness? What does it mean to be happy? How should I feel?
Let me tell you, like, actually something I wrote, but maybe I will say it a little bit later. Uh, for me, I really discovered happiness when I came to the Netherlands. Yeah, I mentioned earlier that we share the same story. So yeah, later on in Hungary, also I felt insecure, and then I moved to the Netherlands as an asylum seeker. Yeah, also a lot of stories to tell there. But while I was there, I had a lot of time with myself. That's the only thing I had, time. When I moved, it was so difficult because I needed to shift quickly. I was in Hungary, I had everything. I used to have everything. But deep down, I was still not satisfied. Yeah? I was working, I was living in the center, I was having like a place to live, my own, and I can go, I can get anything. I want to have a coffee, I go have a coffee. I want to buy chocolate from Spar, I go buy a chocolate. It's always anything I can get. At the beginning, it felt good when I start working. Yeah? But by the end of it, I felt empty. And I remember like this story where I was sitting in my room and I wanted to entertain myself. I wanted to laugh. and I played a comedy show for Trevor Noah. And I remember for me, the funniest. I always laugh when I watch his videos. But it's been a while I didn't watching this. So I was like, oh yeah, let me laugh. I watched, and the shock, there wasn't even a drop of laughter. I was so surprised. I swear I remember I stopped the video and I said, Rashid, there is something off. What it is? You have everything, yeah? And still you are empty from the inside. Where is Rashid who used to laugh out of anything? Used to enjoy life to the fullest. Have fun. Talk the loudest. Where is this Rashid? So when I came to the Netherlands, I know I had a vision. I want to rediscover myself. I want to know, who am I? What happened to me? What shifted that made me not laugh anymore? Solid dark from the inside, dead from the inside.
Yeah. So you are saying that you were like laughing at any funny things that you watch or any funny joke that your friends will tell you, but then later you was not able to laugh, right?
Well, it's about the inner world. Yeah, it's
Mm-hmm.
more like the laughter is just a reflection of it.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
but you are comparing yourself to the past.
exactly.
Yeah, but why you measured your like emptiness by not being able to laugh?
Well, like I felt it. Yeah, it's not just laughed. Laughter, I told you, laughter is just a reflection. But I felt it. I was just empty. So yeah, and then like when I came to the Netherlands, yeah, the biggest shift happened like in my life because I know very difficult time. I didn't know it's gonna be this difficult. I kinda knew, but yeah, it was really extremely difficult. The whole experience, like I was so lost, so empty. But you know what happened? I had a lot of time, and I looked inward. I stayed in the silent. Hmm? And in the beginning, I promised myself that I am the highest priority. Hmm? I didn't take care of myself before. Now it's all about me. I will never hurt myself. I will never dismiss myself, dismiss my health, dismiss who I am. I am first. I will take care of myself. Hmm? And I will appreciate me. And I start building this new character, taking care of my health, training, and meditation, and discovering the self. Hmm? And I kept going, and I kept into this journey, which Carl Jung called it the dark shadow. For me, I call it me, the part of me that I don't want to see. It's just me. Society tells me that it's bad. Crying is bad. Being angry is bad. Showing emotion, you are weak. All my life, I was suppressing my emotions. Fully suppressing my emotions. Deep, deep down. I thought I was strong. I wasn't. I was so afraid of my own emotions. Because I didn't know what are they and I didn't know who am I. Yeah? And I was suppressing until I became master at suppressing my emotions. I was dead from the inside. I was feeling nothing. Hmm? Just living in my mind, in my head. Hmm? Analyzing everything. Analytical. Which is good also. But it's about balancing. Yeah? And in this journey, only in this journey, when I reach to the lowest points of my life, hmm, waiting and waiting and waiting in the camps, finally I found the light. It wasn't anywhere, it was inside. It was within. Huh? That was the shock. That was for me mind blowing. Yeah, because all my life I was seeking this, yeah, joy and happiness and amazing feeling externally, and I was getting it. It's not like I wasn't getting. I was getting, yeah, but it wasn't for a really long time. It was just I get like a hit.
It wasn't like a lifestyle. It was just like
Yeah,
instant gratification.
instant gratification. So I was feeling like that's all. But I never realized that there is so much joy just within. Yeah, nowhere there, just you by yourself. Because in the camps and because I had nothing, I didn't have money. All these beautiful things I used to have in Hungary, like I can go to a coffee, I can go drink something, I can go to a supermarket and get chocolate. I cannot do it anymore. I got nothing, huh? So I decided that I better enjoy the nothing because that's the only thing I got. And Abdurrahman, you will never believe it. I started to enjoy the nothing. Like I'm literally shocked of what just happened. And I wrote about it just yesterday. I, these last days, I wanted to write about it. I just cannot comprehend because you mentioned like, what is this feeling, happiness? What is this? Well, it's beyond words. It's indescribable. Yeah, yeah. Sorry, you think I'll give you some words? No, no,
But
it's not.
if you cannot describe something, it means it doesn't exist.
Well,
This is just a philosophical way of.
yes, it doesn't exist in this realm.
Hmm.
And this physical reality, yes, it doesn't.
Mm.
In logical terms, yeah,
Mm.
it doesn't. Yeah, it's beyond the logical.
Yeah, we were just talking like before we come to here, and we were discussing the part that you have always to sacrifice something in order to get something else. Okay, what about? I mean, I have left my family back in Yemen, and living away from your family is one of the hardest experience that you can deal with, especially if you are forced to do so. So if you are like missing the very important connections or relationship with your family, and you cannot be with them, it means that there is always something that is missing inside of you. So yeah, I want to ask like the importance of relationship in reaching this level of peace or happiness or whatever you call it, or satisfaction, fulfillment.
I want to hear from you, but I just want to say like, yes, I miss my family.
Mm.
Life is never complete. Well, people think like, oh yeah, you're happy, yeah. I don't know. People like I don't know which kind of story people have because everyone have a story.
Mm.
Like what's happiness is just a word in a dictionary.
Mm.
What it means to you. You are the one who decide what's happiness to you. What's happiness to me? Everyone have their own experiences. But it's happiness is not something like wow, you are always wow. Life is always something is off. And we have to embrace everything that is in life. For example, I miss my family and yes, it feels bad and I'm living with it that yes, something is missing out of me. Yeah, and it's part of the experience. I can't just get everything in life. Yeah, there is always something can be off. But how do you feel when you don't have your family?
I mean, yeah, I think one of the main reasons that I never felt satisfied or fulfilled is that this part is missing. Because, it's because when we like, we were born, we had like our mother and father next to me, and you created a deep connection with them. That you cannot now connect with it. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, it creates this void inside of you that whatever you do, wherever you go, hmm,
Mm.
you will never feel fulfilled or peace. So yeah, I think the relationships and the families, friendships is a very important part of this formula in which we are talking about. Whether you are trying to reach happiness, peace, fulfillment, satisfaction, and if you are missing this part, something will be missing and the formula won't work. But as you said, it's about embracing, and this what we can do toward this is only embrace it. I What I can do to myself is only embrace that I am away from my family,
Mm.
and by embracing it, it becomes like easier to deal with it. But if you are like not really embracing these emotions that you get out of this void, it means that you will struggle more and more.
Yeah, true. It's about accepting and embracing, and it's not just like, yeah, with family connections this, but everything in life. Yeah, when something hurt, yeah, when something painful happens, when something is go not as expected, and you start feeling bad about it, it's part of the experience. It's just, yeah, if you accept it, then you will feel bad still. You're not like will feel good. No, you feel bad. That's how accept it means. You feel bad. It's just you are not dwelling about it. Okay, I feel bad. Yes, that's it. Yeah, something is missing, and I'm trying to live and see the other part, which is the other good things I have, because it can't be that all of it is bad. Of course, there is some specific parts that is good, but I'm not seeing. I'm trying to,
And you also, I
yeah.
think, try to create your own family. You find a partner, and you try to bring a child to this universe, and then maybe you will feel that you can compensate the feelings that you were missing with your child and your wife and this stuff.
Mm.
But there was like a study. I was like uh, I found it like long time ago. It was Harvard University, and they were doing a study like for 8 years. And every 2 years, there was like group, and every 2 years they will go to these people and ask them what makes them happy, they are, what they are regrets, what are they regrets, and it continues for like 80 years. And at the end of this study, they discovered that a lot of people were saying the most thing they regret is that they didn't spend enough time with their families, their partners, their friends, because they were only focusing on the making themselves successful or reaching goals or collecting money. Or And this is interesting. That's why I was asking if you are missing the family in your life, or the people you were raised and they were around you. It means
Absolutely, like social connection is so important. Like for me, like I'm, yeah, it's like for example, yeah, here in the camp, at some point, yeah, I was really disconnected from social connections. Yeah, I was living in the camp, but I then had connections in the camps because I didn't find my group, my tribe, people who share because similar mindset. Yeah, the only people that I could meet is you, the guys, but like we only meet once a month, and it was the only time that I would recharge. and I couldn't find my PR. And at some point, I was so like desperate, and I was feeling so lonely. But because you mentioned it, then I want to highlight, for example, like in life, you need to balance, yeah. And the main things, yeah, we'll just highlight them quickly. For example, one, social connections, yeah. You need social connections around you. Social connection, including friends, family, yeah, partners, and social connection. Just not connection only. No, no. How deep it's the connection. How real. How authentic. How, huh? Very important. Yeah. Nowadays we really miss this. Everyone living their own world. We are like somewhere else. Yeah. Connections. So important. Another thing is health, physical and mental. Are you fully here? Are you fully here? Yeah. Because if your leg is painful, then everything. Your back is painful, then life is not fully good. Don't lie to yourself. It's just you are trying to normalize that it's just part of the experience that it's painful. No, it's not fully good. Yeah. And the third one, career. Yeah. Career, it can be anything. Yeah? If it's your passion, it's more beautiful because it's fun. You're enjoying as well. But it's about being productive, and that's what I talked before. That's when you are when I graduated, or now also, like completely lost. For example, when I graduated, I was completely lost. Like I don't know what I have to do, and I was doing nothing. And when you do nothing, this is like the craziest because you always want to be productive and do something, and you know. So yeah, but like if yeah, just I want to say like yeah, people think like okay, oh yeah, we're having podcast talking about happiness. Yeah, here is happiness. No, it's not there. Yeah, happiness is an experience. Happiness is God. You first do you believe in it? First, do you think that it's possible? Huh? Do you really think that maybe you could reach it? It exists. But if it's an illusion for you, it's an illusion, and you will never find it. Hmm? But if you believe it exists, because you are the master of your reality, and any reality you can find. But yeah, but for me, I want to share what I wrote yesterday. Yeah, because I felt like I never shared what I write. Maybe I tried one or two, but I was trying to express how I feel now. Yeah, and for me, the one of the biggest impact is being in the moment. Yeah, because the moment is something magical, and I
So,
hope you could
yeah,
reach a bit of what I feel.
before you
Yeah.
read your writing, we can conclude, and then this is gonna be like something that is ending the this episode. So basically, what I understand from you right now after this nice conversation is that happiness can be divided into few parts. Hmm? Simplicity, embracing, and enjoying the small details, the small moments, and accepting. I think is that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Is there anything that you want to
This is like
add
for
to
me,
this?
this is the main thing that
Mm.
really bring me happiness because yeah, for me like for example yesterday we met and we were talking and for me that was happiness. Yeah. This is how it like it means a lot to have a good friend. Yeah, for 8 years, and we have amazing conversation. We sharing. Yeah, it's just magical. And if you don't appreciate it, then what? Yeah, and yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Exactly like you said.
that's just amazing. I
And
mean,
if you, as a person who's watching this video, if you believe happiness exists, if you have some hope, hmm, what is it for you? What is it? Because everyone have different.
yeah.
Maybe someone is fishing.
Mm.
I don't know what is fishing, but someone is. This is for him. I could see some people fishing, and I could see they're enjoying life. They're happy fishing. Everyone have a story to tell.
Yeah.
And it's not about my story, it's not about your story. It's about what everyone's story.
Yeah. I just forgot to add one thing to the
Mm.
list of that is part of happiness, which is gratitude. And yeah, I think it's very important to be grateful for the things that you have right now. If you are grateful, it means that you can enjoy this gratefulness and small thing that because it has value to you. But if you are not grateful, whatever you have, you won't
Because
enjoy it.
it's like amplify.
Exactly.
It's
Yes.
like there is bad, there is good. We like to label things. Then they are experiences. Yeah, some of them hard to accept, and some of them good to accept. Yeah.
Exactly. Yes.
But anyways, and yeah, it's like you said. Like if I focus on the good, then I amplify the good.
Exactly.
Then I only see the good,
Mm.
and the bad will become shrink.
Mm.
It's me who focus. I can focus on the bad, and I see it like this. When the good comes, why it's like this? It's not. It should be like that. But it's good still. Yeah. But no, you don't see it because you see the bad. And it's a lifestyle. And if your lifestyle is here, try to slowly shift it to here.
Yeah, that's just amazing. Okay, man.
Okay, I will end it. I will end the
Release the-
podcast
yeah.
with my writing. How has my life become like this? What has happened? The days don't feel real. I am in a movie, one that plays endlessly. Each morning is the start of a new episode. It ends in the evening. After a warm shower washes the day away, I sleep peacefully, recharge, then start again. It's hard to describe the indescribable. Life was never like this. I used to wake up and immediately think about my problems, the work that still waited. I would enter the shower, but not really be there. My mind was already in the office, trying to solve the unsolved cases. And I remember the arguments with myself. Rasheed, you are taking a shower now. Can you please just take a shower? Only a few seconds before I fell back into the same loop, as if I was never where I was, always somewhere else. That was the hardest chain to break. I had imprisoned myself in the uncertain future. And all the worries would rise. I had to deal with them, and the more I tried to calm down, the worse it got. And if I was trying, but in reverse. Then someone said, we only have the moment, but we are never there. Either lost in a future we don't have, or in a past that is already gone. That shook me awake. And I told myself, Rasheed, you are not living life. Do I really appreciate life? Because if I do, at the very least, I must live it moment by moment. Since then, I promised myself to embrace the present, the gift of being alive. Believe me, it wasn't easy, but everything starts with an idea. I nurtured that idea, let it grow from a tiny seed into a lifestyle. It took days, months, years, but each time, life got even better. I thought being in the present meant simply not being in the past or the future, but in the now. Well, it is way deeper than that. The moment keeps unfolding deeper and deeper, more magical, like a fairy tale, a drama movie, and I am the main protagonist. The spotlight is on me. Nothing else matters. I decide what is valuable. Now, when I wake up, I embrace whatever comes. I welcome what life brings. Today, I did my routine. First, my magical tea, mint, ginger, cinnamon. Then, I went to the coffee shop. I ordered a cappuccino. Each sip took me to a new world as I write these words. When I write, I love it. When I drink, I love it. When I talk, I love it. Whatever I do, I truly love it. Even pain doesn't sound awful anymore. If that's what life brings, I welcome it too. Well, pain is my greatest teacher. It taught me to appreciate life. Without pain, to see how blessed I am truly am. I often forget how beautiful my life has become. The unexpected events I used to hate, I love them now. They make my day spicy. Anything that exists in life, I accept. I don't reject life. I no longer label things as good or bad. I take them as they are. Because being in the moment is more than just the moment itself. When it seems like nothing exists, is where everything resides. Do you want to join me to live in a fantasy world?
Wow, man.
Thank you for watching.
That's just amazing. Yeah. Yeah, I think we reached the end of this episode, and I hope you enjoyed it. And let us know what you think about happiness. Yeah, have an amazing day. Thank you.